So we found out that the person who brought Norn and Aisha was actually Rujerd, and Rudy and Rujerd have a little convo with each other. As Rudy was basically asking Rujerd how his life was going, and like who he came across, and he mentioned that he met Roxy, and Rudy got excited about that. But Rujerd was telling Rudy that he was gonna leave the next day. So the next morning that came around, Rudy woke up to hearing some commotion, and it turns out that Rudy and purple guy Badigadi, I keep forgetting his name. But they had some bad blood over the past 1,000 years or some shit. But Rudy saw that. He asked him about it, but he just asked Rujerd to come in for some breakfast. And Rujerd is about to leave. Norna and Aisha are saying bye. If you read the light novel, I do not like this scene for reasons I don't know if I should even talk about. I saw this scene. I'm looking at the invisible camera. Once they went back inside, though, Norn and Aisha were talking with Rudy about like school, and Aisha doesn't want to go to school because she just wants to be a nurse or a maid for Rudy. And Norn doesn't really want to. She doesn't really know what she wants to do. But Norn doesn't feel confident in going to school because she thinks she won't do good. And Rudy talks to Sophie about letting Aisha work with them as a maid, but they're not too sure. But Sophie basically says let her do what she wants to do, which I agree with Sophie, so yeah. But either way, Rudy had both of them take the entrance exam, and Aisha 100% that, no problems, and she wants to be a maid. But Norn, on the other hand, didn't do too good on it, but she requested to go to live in the dorms, and Rudy wasn't too sure about that, but he let it slide. He's gonna let her stay over at the dorms. But Aisha didn't take that too well for some reason, saying that Norn doesn't do anything and she gets everything she wants. And she dies because Aisha's mother is a mistress, so she thinks like she doesn't deserve the full love, I guess, from Rudy. But Rudy explains that that's not the case. Then it cuts to, I think, the next day or something, and North is off to live in dorms, and Rudy's just telling her, take care of yourself, and to visit them. And for some reason, the furries give Rudy a bag to Rudy. And when Rudy was on his way out, he ran into Luke, and Luke called him in, and then the princess was asking him some questions, saying that there's a problem at the school, that a bunch of girls were having some problems, and it turns out that the furries were taking her panties and shit from them. And Rudy had to explain that it wasn't his idea, it was just the furries doing that on their own. Sophie being Sophie. I don't know. I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, you would think, I don't know, I would, if I was in that school, I would assume those furries are kind of, they obviously have screw looses or something. So I don't know why they assumed Rudy would kind of do that. As they were on the way out, they run into Norn, and she's like lost, so Luke escorts her, and Rudy yells at the furries. As Rudy was yelling at the furries, they saw Norn staring at him, and they were about to like throw a fight with her until Rudy tells them that that's his sister, and they act all. Then they just flip completely, saying that she's cool. And then it does a little like montage showing Aisha or Norn in a room, sad. Another slow episode. Not much really happens. This is a lot of build up for the big one.